You alright? What? Yeah, it's got to be bigger, but what?
No, it's... Can't you see?
Can't see anything.
Okay.
We said we're going to ignore it, remember?
Okay.
What did you see?
I just saw, his face.
Oh, Trent. No, we talked about this. He's gone. We just have to move on. Okay? Yeah. I think I just saw a ghost of Mars.
How do you know he's from Mars?
Maybe moment. Good afternoon, welcome back. It is Friday.
Howdyho.
And we are about to jump into the second of our theoretical movies for the month, which is They Live in Little China, featuring Roddy Piper as Nada, wandering into another situation that's a bit more than he can handle.
It's all a bit much for everybody, really.
Yes, but we'll see if he can rise to the challenge. Before we do, very quick shout out today for another one of our recent subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
So this is for Mick.
Oh, right. Okay.
Who's a new friend of ours from Germany. He's a musician and does a lot of comedy skits as well. A lot of satirical stuff on current events.
Ah, nice.
So thanks for your support, buddy, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I meant to do this on Wednesday. I'm terribly sorry. I'm going to do this very quickly today as well.
Mm-hmm.
On a bit of a personal note, I just want to say best of luck to my friend Harshi and his missus, who are friends of mine who are working at the hospital. Thank you for everything. Thanks for your support. Thanks for all your advice. And best of luck. I take it the opening is the same. We get the scene with the lawyer.
Of course. Yeah, that's H.J. the lawyer, so it's nothing to do with Jack.
Can you tell us about this drifter?
And immediately you raise a point I'd completely missed. Yeah, okay.
I didn't mean to have a look, but I was going to try and find out what would be the Chinese equivalent of Nada.
I have no idea.
If anybody knows, please put it in the comments, because we don't know.
Got nothing. Nada.
It's either that or we could... Just lost in my own thoughts, wasn't paying attention very nice. We could, for this particular case, use his name as George Nada as it was in the original story.
Uh-huh. Right, okay.
Because he's another example of that thing that Carpenter seems to have a love of, that kind of... It's not just heroes. People know, they're very vocal about it.
People with reputations.
Yes.
Right, yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, how would that manifest in this story?
Of course, it's still the same. It's the man with no name, isn't he?
Yeah, of course it is. It is a Western.
At a point later on in the act, that it is a Western. That whole thing about you've got the guy from which one is he? The Wing Kong with the two 6-shooters.
Yes, just in case you don't understand what we're talking about, folks, one of your very first scripts for this movie actually had it set in the Wild West. Which would have made a much different story. And characters like that would make a lot more sense.
I mean, obviously it does. It just adds to the craziness of the film, putting it in a modern context.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a small thing, just to say, no, you leave him alone, he's helped, and we still get the same thing. Obviously, we don't get Jack on his CB.
We get Nada wandering into town.
Yeah. So I thought maybe we replace that little montage of Jack going around talking on the market with him going around the market looking for work.
Okay, so Nada's a drifter, but he knows Wang, so he's been here before?
We want to go with that? Yeah.
Well, otherwise, where do we get the connection between the two characters?
We don't. But my only thing with that was that he wins the money, and so he's going to stick with him until he gets his money.
There are, in America, seasonal workers. Mm. They travel from state to state based on whatever's the seasonal fruit or crop of the area.
Yeah,
so it's not unimaginable. It's
used to be a
just
thing here.
getting him to California is easy. Getting him to the docks is hard, and that's why I think he needs to know Wang.
Yeah, so his other work is laid off early.
Yeah,
He's come here because he
maybe
knows
he's
he can
worked
get a
in the
job.
orange fields or something, and they've, maybe there's a drought and they've had to lay them off early because all the picking's done.
Like it. Yeah, that fills that in.
Cool. All right, we got through the first hurdle.
We get the same thing, but again for the same reasons. He's going to want to stick with him because he owes him cash.
We're stepping past a second hurdle.
Oh, are we?
Well, yes. Why is a jobless drifter gambling on the docks of San Francisco? Sorry to do it so early, folks, but we've got to ask these questions. We understand why he's there. We understand how he knows Wang. Why is he spending $1,000 in gambling money?
If he knows Wang and he's been there before, it's possibly something that they do all the time.
Let's say this is actually, the whole thing is a game that Nara and Wang used to play when they were younger. It's a con job where there's two of them.
And they're conning all of the others.
He's trying to collect his share at the end of the night.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
absolutely.
you.
That solves that problem. Yeah.
Right, so we've got them there. We've got a monetary reason for them to be doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, Wang's story. He has to go to the airport.
Nada's not going to let him out of his sight until he gets his share.
Of course, in the original, it was, I thought you were going to follow me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came to my senses. That Wang says, I'll meet you at the restaurant after I picked her up. And he's like, yeah, sure. Swings him to the side of the truck. He says, I thought I was going to meet you there. Yeah, then I came to my senses.
Absolutely. The actual journey to the airport is going to be a lot more subdued because, again, that's not to take away from Nada's character. He's quite reserved.
He's not a talkative guy. He's the opposite of Jack. He has opinions. He does not share them.
Which is fine because, I mean, that means we get more of Wang because he has to kind of coax the conversation out of him.
It's his way of interrupting the interrogation that he's getting from Wang. So, like, Wang's like, how are you doing? I mean, how is it? I mean, seriously, are you able, are you living okay?
Yeah.
All those, like, awkward questions. And then he's like, yeah, so tell me about this girl.
And then that puts him on the track because he's nervous about it, and then it's just motor mouth from there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That works. When we get to the airport, first thing I thought is Nada is not going to go up to Gracie.
No, he's not. He's going to look longingly at her across the
concourse.
The concourse. It is
to keep in character with Nada is he sees everything. He watches what's happening as he does, but it takes no action until they grab May in.
Yes. Now, I mean, logistically speaking, it doesn't matter because Gracie inserts herself later in the story anyway. Like I said, I thought he might look at her and go, oh, she's pretty.
We can even have that bit from Wang when he noticed that he spotted her and he says, no, don't, she's trouble.
Yeah. What, really?
I did think that bit, the fight with the guy from the black, there's a Lords of Death, isn't it? I thought that fight is going to be very different. I imagine that when he picks out the butterfly knife, I can just imagine Nada just grabbing his hand and just laying him out.
Yeah.
Straight away, so that the other two have to run with the girl, with May Yin.
Yeah, I was thinking something similar. Obviously, there's the guy that comes out with the butterfly knife, and there's the guy that comes with the tomflu and starts...
Yeah.
And when he starts doing that, instead of backing off, Roddy would stand up in his face and grab him. Yeah. But as he grabs him, the dude behind him still leg sweeps him anyway.
Okay.
So he'd still go down.
We see that he's capable, he can handle himself.
Yeah.
And he's going to be an asset in what's yet to come.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Not that it matters, Wang is desperate.
Yeah. Right the way through this act, we still get... I know we can come on to it a bit later in the act, where Jack's like, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But we know with Nada he has a much more protective nature.
Yes, and also his out of here is not the same as Jack's out of here. No. He's not as rich. He can't just walk away.
We do get a slightly less impressive game of chicken with Egg Chen.
Yes, because Wang's Jeep is a lot smaller than Jack's truck.
But then we do get one of those wonderful moments in the film, which I must admit, thank you for all the... I'm glad we're doing this one. Apart from the fact that I hadn't seen it for years, it's always been one of those Carpenters that, because there is so much going on, I always get lost in it. I forget so much about it after I've watched it. So having the time to stop and watch it and really absorb it, it's been really nice. And there's a lovely moment where he goes right off the alleyway. It kind of switches from very real world to kind of Hollywood fantasy land. And I love that little switch.
I do love that switch, but you do notice that it is literally because the beginning of the shot is in San Francisco, and as it moves into the alleyway, it moves into a set.
Yes, exactly.
And it's just completely, like you say, magical, mist-filled. All of the perspectives are all gone screwy and everything like that. He's off the beaten track at this point.
Yes, exactly. I just, Carpenter again.
Yeah, no, he really sets the scene on that one, like, you're no longer you're not in Kansas anymore.
Exactly. There were a couple of problems that I could see with this scene with the Chan Sing, with the Wing Kong, and then the arrival of the elements or whatever the three
storms.
The three storms, yes. My first problem was, because we've got Wang's truck, which is smaller, or his pickup, it's more feasible for them to back out of the alley.
That's the whole bit when Wang goes, and it's not until the three storms turn up that Wang goes, go, 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 go. Also, secondly, Wang's behind the wheel.
Exactly, and that was my other problem, because he knows what these things are, and he knows, I know Jack kind of goes, oh, and goes straight forward. In that situation, I didn't think Wang would do that. He would rather extricate himself, because he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers.
I understand what you're saying. Although, logistically speaking for our movie, why does that matter? Whether he goes backwards or forwards, he still runs into Lo Pan. He still ends up running away and abandoning his vehicle and ending up in a different building.
All I was going to suggest is Wang freaks out for a moment, and it's actually Nada that reaches across and puts his foot on the pedal and zooms forward.
That would also work.
That was the solution I came up with it, following the pacing and the setting of the film.
Yeah.
When they jump out of the cab after they've hit Lo Pan,
yeah,
what Nada is going to be on the wrong side, because he's in the passenger seat, not in the driver's seat.
That's fine. Lo Pan walks around the other side of the vehicle. Nada would be like, are you okay? Are you okay? And would be going to go to help him. Yeah. But he goes, and everything goes mental.
Fantastic solution to the problem. How do you solve being magically blinded? Puddle water.
Puddle water. Just puddle water. Dirty water. That will clean your eyes. Dirty water cleans everybody's eyes.
Any other kind of break point that I had for this one, potentially, and again, I'm reaching here, I know I am, is when first of all, we get climbing into abandoned buildings through windows.
Yeah.
But it's when they go when they nip through those crawl spaces. It's very tight. I mean,
it is very tight, but there is still quite a bit of room around Jack. Mm-hmm. I'd say that he could get down it, he would just be slower.
Because he is bigger, his shirt gets snagged on something, and that's why he loses his shirt, because he has to.
Exactly. It never really made sense that Jack ditches his jacket. The only thing I could ever think of, I mean, even when I was 14, was, they must have fucked up on continuity there. They shot a scene without him having his jacket on, and then realised afterwards. With somebody Roddy's size, they would make sense. He's going to snag his collar on some jutting nail or something.
Exactly, yeah. See, I think there was a mistake here, because I think I only made my notes up to not quite to the end of the act. I'm going to be relying on you from this point, because I've got no notes from this point from when they get to...
Oh, right, yes, of course. They head back to Wang's restaurant. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a bit of a gather, and that's when we officially meet Gracie Law.
Yes.
All of that stuff is going to happen on rails, apart from... Nada's not going to have a conversation with his insurance about the abandoned or unabandoned car, because he doesn't have one. So I'm going to say that he's probably, despite Wang's protestations, is on the phone trying to get the police involved.
Yes.
And nobody will take him seriously.
Yes. It just adds that extra level of grounding to the film, that they try and go through the proper channels.
Well, Nada believes in the system. He believes in the police. He believes in all that stuff. So, of course, my mate's missus has been kidnapped. I need to call the cops.
Yeah. Okay, pal. Oh, in Chinatown? Yeah.
Don't transfer... Oh, my God.
I suppose then, at this point, we will be seeing a lot more of the Nada that we kind of get at the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3 of They Live, where he's a lot more vocal.
Yes.
Because we're seeing a lot more crazy stuff a lot sooner.
Yeah. But then it leads us to the White Tiger.
Yes.
And of course, they're going to send in Nada. He's the only non-local.
How good is he going to be then at his play acting?
I imagine he's kind of the opposite of Jack, where Jack really takes to it.
Yes.
I think Nada would do it, but the first couple of attempts would be really crap. And just as they get suspicious, he goes, "Oh, I better be like, oh God, I better do this properly because they're getting suspicious. You know, like he'd be like, I heard about the white tiger, and she looks him up and down. And he's like, that's what the taxi driver said.
Nice.
You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so he'd like be making up for his mistakes as he goes along. Again, once he gets inside, it's going to run on rails. The storms turn up, and they take the girl, and the building erupts in green flame.
We're still saying then that he's going to get knocked across the room?
I want to say that although he'll take it like a fucking champ, I want to say that Rain is probably going to actually go backwards.
Yeah.
He wouldn't just be it would be a
Yeah.
and then he comes at him and knocks him on his ass.
Yes. Fantastic. And then... Is that it?
Afterwards, we're in Gracie Lowe's apartment with Jack drinking milk, or with Nada drinking milk and yelling about being a reasonable man saying unreasonable things. Spider friends are back.
It's been a while.
Oh no.
Are they seasonal? Anyway, I don't know. So we are going to go back into the study room and prepare for our last 2 episodes of the month. Just a quick reminder that after next Friday, there'll be no Maybe Movies until the beginning of August, as July is our month off. We will still be putting out content. Obviously, we have several shows, so we'll be upping the amount of movies actually that we do to account for the fact that we're not doing these for a month. And we're also going to try and get 1, if not 2, what I done just read out as well.
Lots of new stuff to see then.
And I'll try and keep them to the times that we would normally put this out. So just tune back at the regular time and there should be something here. Until next Wednesday, have a wonderful weekend, have a wonderful start to next week, and we'll see you then.
As always, guys, TTFN. Ooh.
Ba 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 ba.